Well, as is always the case, it seems that there might be somebody who's trying to make a buck on this deal. We want to make sure that that type of thing doesn't happen, so we thought we'd invite an expert to discuss the discovery, they think, of Herod's tomb. Joining us is a self-proclaimed expert on the tomb finding of Herod. Very exciting, Mr. Don Black. Mr. Black, thank you for being with us, sir.
Hello, I'm honored to be here today. Thank you for having me.
Oh, boy. Are you an archaeologist, sir?
No, I'm not. I'm actually a dentist by trade, but I will say this: I've watched the History Channel a lot.
You have. All right. Did you work on the Herod? You've watched the history. Did you work on the Herod dig?
But I've watched it a lot.
Uh-huh. Did you work on the dig yourself, sir?
No, I did not.
Did they actually find the body of Herod at the site?
No, they did not.
All right. Did they find an inscription on some sort of bone box with Herod's name on it?
See, here's the amazing part of the find.
Uh-huh.
They found a fragment of clay with the unmistakable etching H-E pronounced he on it.
Okay, but H-E, but how do you know that spells Herod?
Because we want it to.
But couldn't it possibly spell other names that maybe have the letters H and E in it, and you're just kind of assuming that it spells Herod?
Oh, well, absolutely not.
All righty, why not?
Because that would not help my hypothesis. And I know you're going to say it's pronounced hypothesis. No, that's intentional. Hypothesis.
Must be the dental way of pronouncing it. So what exactly is your
I like that.
Uh-huh. What exactly is your hypothesis, sir?
Well, it's pretty much the one I invented with my ex-wife when we took a cruise to the Holy Land.
All right.
The tour guide who was directing us, was a very intelligent young man working on his degree in journalism. And he also waited tables during the non-peak season and so forth. Anyway, this young man was taking us through Bethlehem and retelling the biblical account of the slaughter of the innocents by Herod the Great when he accidentally said, "And Herod the Great had all his children under the age of 2 slaughtered." Well, he corrected himself, of course, right away and laughed, and then he mistakenly said his children.
Oh, because he said all of his children killed.
Yeah, exactly. But that thought stuck with me. It just lodged in my mind. And so that night at the wine tasting party, which was included in the cost of the tour, I said to my ex-wife, what if Herod had a really nasty wife?
All right. Okay, what if? Yeah.
Okay, what if?
Yeah.
And what if he really did have other children? I mean...
Well, do we have... Sir, hold on. Do we have any proof that he had a nasty wife?
I said what if.
All right. Do we have any proof that he had illegitimate children?
Okay. If he did, it would only make sense then, okay?
All right.
To have him killed. And if Jesus was in Bethlehem at the time, I'm sure you know where I'm going with all this.
That Herod is the father of Jesus.
It's obvious.
Right.
It's obvious.
Uh-huh.
And all I needed was just a little bit of archaeological evidence to support my theory. That's all I needed.
All right, but sir,
that was it.
All right, sir, with all due respect, I know you're a dentist and everything.
Yes.
Shouldn't you have the evidence and then create a theory as opposed to creating a theory and then trying to find some evidence to support your hypothesis?
By the way, thanks for saying that correctly.
Yeah.
You should. I agree. Only if you're not trying to sell a book.
Let me guess, Mr. Don Black, you've got a book coming out.
Yes. Yes, that wasn't the original idea. But, I kept thinking that the young man that I mentioned earlier, the tour guide, who accidentally said that Herod had children, was also studying journalism. I thought, coincidence? I think not. So I contacted him, and we collaborated on a new book called The Duh Code.
The Duh Code?
The Duh Code.
Right.
And it rhymes, too, the Duh Code.
Right.
The Duh Code.
Why, and what you're calling it the Duh Code because...
Because it's so obvious, my hypothesis.
That Herod had a wicked wife, and he had illegitimate children, and so he had Jesus killed because he might have been the...
Isn't it great? I mean, honestly. Anyway, incidentally, we're selling the licensing rights right now to make this a motion picture. And so if anyone listening out there happens to be in the industry, we'd love to hear from you.
I'll bet you would.
You can visit our website at thecode.com. And we'd just love to talk to you.
All right.
I'm telling you.
And we've loved talking to you.
And no, this is going to be big.
I'm sure it is.
And making money like this is way better than crawling around in people's mouths all day, halitosis and whatnot.
All righty, Mr. Don Black. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Don Black. Get it? Don Black. See, there's Dan Brown. That was Don Black right there, putting together that concrete case that Herod was actually the father of. Okie dokie then. This is Way of the Master Radio. Now, you maybe are not aware of this. While the Da Vinci Code and maybe the Da Code, we'll see, it remains to be seen if that little hypothesis will make for a blockbuster. Don't forget the Da Vinci Code was Dan Brown's Lollapalooza, where he claimed that Jesus was married to Mary Magdalene and they had babies, and they ended up going to France where we have the Merovingian line, and that was huge. There's boy, they just come left and right, don't they? The hypotheses out there. There's another one now that is going to be released soon.
Join us now as we unlock the secrets of the Seussey Code.
Oh boy, like we need this. This is Way of the Master Radio. Another one.
Described by Highlights magazine as equal parts thriller, mystery, and children's book rhetoric, the Seussey Code follows Horton Heardon, a Harvard professor of Seussology, and cryptologist Cindy Louveau as they piece together an alternate version of history, one that says the publishers and Dr. Seuss himself covered up evidence proving that Dr. Seuss was not who he says he was. But that evidence was hidden only in the cryptic messages found in Dr. Seuss' own stories. Dan Beige, author of the Seussey Code, claims that many of the assertions in the book are not only possible, but probable.
There is no doubt in my mind that what we are dealing with here is a conspiracy of Seussical proportions. I mean, I believe every single person who worked for this Dr. Seuss was in on it from the ground up.
We also sat down with Random House Publishing executive Laura Steppenbaum.
Well, here at Random House Publishing, we have never made the claim that Dr. Seuss is a real doctor. Dr. Seuss is a pen name, or pseudonym, if you will.
Beige's assertions center around various popular book titles.
Green eggs and ham. Yes, that seems relatively innocent enough. But is there something else? Is there a warning inside that title? Danger, she men gag. Well, what is he telling us? Stay away from the ham and the eggs that are green. It's never really been clear. Are the green eggs green and the ham is not green?
There is no controversy. These are children's books written for children. There is no hidden meaning, there's no numerology or cryptology.
But notable Seussologist Lorax Thornblower believes there may be truth to the conspiracy.
I do believe that the Seussey Code is tasty, like pie a la mode.
Beyond the book titles, there are other clues to be found while breaking the Seussey Code.
Dr. Seuss. Why is he not saying doctor? Why the contraction? I'll tell you why. He is sending us a signal. If you take that word in its fullest, in its entirety, doctor, what have we removed? Octo. Octo, everyone knows, is a prefix for the number 8. 8 letters in his real first name, Theodore.
But Random House Publishing says that claim is simply not true.
Our Theodore spells his name without the E at the end, thus making it only 7 letters rather than 8 letters, as Mr. Beige claims.
There are more anagrams and puzzles to be found in Beige's book. Theodore Giesel, Dr. Seuss's real name, is an anagram for Eerie Sloth Dog, which clearly points to the Grinch's right-hand dog in the classic story, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, recently brought to film by controversial director Ron Howard. And so our quest to solve the Seussey Code continues. Did Dr. Seuss have a license to practice medicine? Is there a message hidden in his books? The world may never know for sure. Thanks for joining us on our journey to unlock the Seussey Code.
You might be asking yourself the question, are you people proud of what you do? Well, not really.